Every woman has her own idea of what men find attractive. But here's the catch. What they believe will attract men isn't always what actually works. Some think it's about the way they look. Others think it's about their attitude, while some put all the focus on little details men don't even notice. But here's the truth. Attraction is a complex mix of confidence, presence, and subtle psychology that most women don't fully realize they're using. That's why in this video, we're breaking down the fascinating beliefs women hold about what draws men in. Some of these beliefs are surprisingly accurate, others are completely misguided, and a few might even shock you. Because let's face it, attraction isn't just about makeup or outfits. It's about energy, mindset, and signals that go deeper than surface looks. If you've ever wondered what women think makes them irresistible, stick around. You're about to discover the hidden world of female psychology, attraction myths, and the little things women swear will make men obsessed. Get ready, because once you understand this, you'll see attraction from a whole new perspective. 1. Belief that beauty alone will attract men. One of the strongest beliefs women carry is that their beauty alone is enough to pull men in. The flawless skin, the perfect body, the carefully chosen outfit. Many women think that if they look stunning, men will automatically fall at their feet. And yes, let's be honest, physical appearance does play a role in attraction. Men are visual creatures, and the first thing they notice is often how a woman presents herself. But here's the mistake. Women sometimes overestimate how far beauty can take them. They think the right lipstick shade, the trendiest dress, or the perfect Instagram filter is the golden ticket to winning a man's attention and keeping it. What they don't always realize is that beauty might spark interest, but it rarely sustains attraction. The truth is, men may be captivated for a moment by looks, but if there's nothing deeper, no personality, no charm, no sense of connection, that interest fades quickly. It's like a fireworks show, dazzling at first, but gone in seconds. Yet many women still operate under this belief, investing hours in makeup tutorials, gym routines, and curated selfies, all while forgetting that real attraction grows from what happens after the first glance. A man might turn his head because of her beauty, but he stays because of how she makes him feel. That's where so many women get caught. They chase perfection in appearance, believing it's the end-all be-all, when in reality, men are drawn more to confidence, playfulness, and energy than flawless eyeliner. This belief also creates pressure. Women convince themselves that if they don't look like models 24/7, they'll never attract the man they want. It leads to comparison, insecurity, and even frustration when they see a woman who isn't traditionally the most beautiful, yet still has men wrapped around her finger. Why? Because she understands something deeper. Beauty may open the door, but personality, warmth, and confidence invite someone to stay. Men often say they're attracted to women who glow from within, and that glow doesn't come from contouring kits or designer shoes. It comes from self-assurance. So yes, women believe beauty is the key, and in some ways it is. But it's not the whole lock. Looks can get attention, but they can't guarantee desire, loyalty, or love. When a woman thinks her appearance alone is enough, she unknowingly limits herself. The real secret is combining appearance with presence. Because when she radiates confidence, humor, and authenticity, her beauty becomes unforgettable. That's when attraction shifts from something shallow to something magnetic. 2. Belief that playing hard to get makes men chase forever. Another common belief women hold is that men will always crave what they can't have. So playing hard to get must be the golden rule of attraction. You've probably seen it. Women ignoring messages, delaying replies for hours, acting disinterested in conversations, or giving off that too busy for you vibe, all while secretly hoping it drives men crazy. And here's the thing. In the short term, this can work. The thrill of the chase is wired into human psychology, and many men do enjoy a little challenge. But here's where the belief starts to crumble. women often confuse sparking interest with sustaining attraction. Playing hard to get may light a spark, but if there's no genuine connection behind it, that spark dies out just as quickly. Men might initially chase because of curiosity or ego, but no man wants to chase forever. When women overplay this card, it doesn't make them appear more desirable. It makes them seem cold, detached, or uninterested. And here's the irony. While women think they're increasing their value by making themselves scarce, many men simply lose interest and move on to someone who actually shows warmth. What women believe is building tension can often feel like a dead end to men. A guy might chase for a few days, maybe even weeks, but if every attempt to connect is met with walls, he won't see a mysterious, high-value woman. He'll just see someone exhausting to deal with. The root of this belief lies in the idea that men don't appreciate what comes easy. And yes, to some extent that's true. Nobody values what requires zero effort. But attraction is about balance. Men don't want someone who's overly available, but they also don't want someone who feels untouchable. The magic happens when a woman shows just enough interest to keep him engaged while still maintaining her independence. That sweet spot creates intrigue without driving him away. The problem with this belief is that it often gets exaggerated. Women take advice like, "Don't be too available," and turn it into, "Pretend you don't care at all." And here's the reality. Men can sense when they're being manipulated. The chase becomes less exciting and more like a game they don't want to play. What women forget is that men aren't just chasing a prize. They're looking for a connection that feels real. And no amount of strategic unavailability can replace authenticity. So yes, playing hard to get can attract men initially, but thinking it's a forever strategy is where the belief backfires. True attraction comes when a woman knows her worth, communicates interest with confidence, and still keeps her standards high. That balance makes a man chase not because he's tricked into it, but because he genuinely values what she brings to the table. 3. Belief. That acting extra sweet and agreeable will win men. Many women believe that if they're endlessly sweet, agreeable, and accommodating, men will be drawn to them like bees to honey. They think saying yes to everything, avoiding conflict, and showering men with constant approval will make them irresistible. After all, who wouldn't want someone who always agrees, always supports, and never creates drama, right? On the surface, it seems logical. Be the nice girl, and men will love you. But here's where the belief misfires. While kindness is attractive, being overly agreeable often backfires. Instead of creating deep attraction, it can make a woman appear predictable, bland, or even desperate for approval. Men, just like women, crave authenticity. When a woman constantly suppresses her own opinions, avoids expressing disagreement, or tries too hard to please, she's not showing her real self. And believe it or not, men can sense that. They might initially enjoy the sweetness. It feels good to be complimented and supported. But over time, it becomes clear that there's no spark of individuality. Instead of seeing her as a strong, captivating partner, they start seeing her as someone who lacks confidence or self-respect. The very belief that being endlessly agreeable attracts men often leads to the opposite. Men lose interest because the relationship feels one-sided. This belief also stems from the cultural idea that men hate conflict and want women who keep the peace. While it's true that no one enjoys unnecessary fights, what men actually value is balance. They respect a woman who has her own voice, sets boundaries, and isn't afraid to say no when it matters. Ironically, the occasional disagreement, when handled maturely, makes a woman more attractive, not less. Why? Because it shows she's real, independent, and capable of standing her ground. That kind of strength inspires respect, and respect is the foundation of lasting attraction. The other trap here is that women who rely on this belief often burn themselves out. They bend over backwards, trying to be the perfect partner, only to feel unappreciated when men take them for granted. It becomes a cycle. The more they give, the less valued they feel. Men don't consciously think, "Oh, she's too nice, I'll leave her." Instead, they slowly lose the excitement that comes from being challenged, intrigued, and emotionally engaged. So yes, sweetness and kindness are beautiful qualities, but when women believe that only being agreeable is the way to win men, they miss the bigger picture. Men aren't looking for a mirror who reflects everything they say. They're looking for a partner who adds depth, perspective, and authenticity to their life. A woman who's kind and confident, caring, and unapologetically herself. That's the kind of woman men find unforgettable. 4. Belief that showing off material things makes men more interested. A lot of women carry the belief that flaunting material possessions, designer bags, luxury makeup, high-end clothes, or even flashy cars, will automatically make men more attracted to them. They think if a man sees her walking in with an expensive handbag, sipping on a premium coffee, or posting vacation selfies from a 5-star resort, he'll instantly label her as high value and want to chase her. And while it's true that these things might catch a man's eye, what women often misunderstand is this. Material things can impress, but they rarely inspire genuine attraction. Instead of drawing men in, this belief often creates the opposite effect. Men start to wonder if she's more about lifestyle than love. See, here's the reality. Most men don't actually care about the brand of her shoes or the label stitched into her outfit. What men do notice is the energy behind it. If a woman carries herself with confidence, even in a simple outfit, she radiates far more attraction than someone draped in expensive labels but desperate for validation. Yet the belief persists, because society constantly tells women that their worth is tied to how glamorous or luxurious they appear. Women think, if I look like I belong in a magazine, men will want me. The problem? Men aren't magazines. They're human, and they're wired to seek something deeper than price tags. When women lean too heavily on this belief, they sometimes come across as materialistic, even if that's not who they really are. A man might wonder, does she want me or for the lifestyle I can provide? That doubt plants seeds of mistrust. And here's the irony. Many women who overemphasize material things actually scare away the very type of man they're hoping to attract. High-quality men are rarely impressed by surface-level flaunting. They're drawn to women who know their worth without needing to prove it through luxury items. Now, does this mean men don't appreciate a woman who takes care of herself and has great taste? Of course not. Men admire women who are stylish, elegant, and confident in their presentation. But there's a huge difference between enjoying nice things and relying on them as the foundation of attraction. The belief that men will stay hooked just because she looks expensive is misguided. Men don't fall in love with a handbag. They fall in love with how a woman makes them feel, how she carries herself, and how she adds value to his world beyond the surface. So yes, flashing material things might grab attention, but it won't hold it. Real attraction doesn't come from the labels she wears. It comes from the aura she gives off. Confidence, charm, humor, and authenticity will always outshine a luxury logo. And when a woman understands that, she stops chasing status symbols and starts becoming the status symbol herself. 5. Belief that making men jealous will keep them hooked. Another belief many women secretly hold is that making a man jealous will tighten his grip on her and keep him constantly chasing. They'll talk about other guys, drop hints about who's texting them, or deliberately post photos designed to spark envy. The thought process is simple. If he feels threatened by competition, he'll value her more. At first glance, this seems like a clever strategy. After all, jealousy does trigger strong emotions. But here's where the belief falls apart. While jealousy might spark a reaction in the short term, it almost always damages trust in the long run. Instead of making a man more attracted, it often makes him guarded, resentful, or even detached. Men aren't oblivious. They can sense when jealousy is being used as a game. While it might stir their ego for a moment, I don't want to lose her. It also plants a dangerous seed of doubt. He begins to question her loyalty, her intentions, and whether she's genuinely interested in him or just enjoying the attention from others. What women think is keeping the man on edge often pushes him away, because no man wants to feel like he's competing for his partner's affection. Real attraction doesn't grow in a battlefield. It grows in security, trust, and respect. This belief also backfires because it assumes men are motivated the same way women are. While some men might momentarily fight harder when they feel jealous, others simply shut down. Many men, especially high-value ones, refuse to play games. If a woman is deliberately trying to provoke jealousy, he won't see it as a sign of her value. He'll see it as immaturity. And instead of chasing harder, he may decide to walk away altogether. The irony is that women who rely on this tactic often create the very outcome they fear: losing the man. A relationship filled with mind games becomes exhausting. Men don't crave constant anxiety about who she's texting or whether she's serious. They crave a sense of being chosen, of knowing that she values him above all others. That security doesn't make them complacent. It actually deepens their attraction, because they feel safe enough to invest more of themselves. So yes, women believe jealousy equals power, but in reality, it's a risky gamble that usually burns bridges instead of building bonds. The strongest form of attraction isn't created by making him fear losing her. It's created by making him feel lucky to have her. When a woman radiates confidence, loyalty, and genuine interest, she doesn't need to play games. Men don't need to be manipulated into staying. They stay because they feel valued, respected, and truly desired. 6. Belief that being mysterious automatically makes men obsessed. One of the most romanticized beliefs women hold is that if they remain mysterious, never fully opening up, always keeping men guessing, then men will become obsessed and chase them endlessly. The idea is simple. Reveal just enough to spark curiosity, but never too much, so he's left wondering who she really is. Women think this creates allure, a kind of magnetic pull that keeps a man hooked. And yes, mystery has its charm. A little unpredictability can be attractive. But here's where the belief gets dangerous. Taken too far, mystery doesn't come across as alluring. It comes across as distant, confusing, or even uninterested. At the beginning, mystery can absolutely work. Men enjoy the challenge of peeling back layers, discovering more about a woman, and feeling like they've unlocked a side of her no one else gets to see. That's exciting. But when women mistake mystery for withholding everything, it stops being intriguing and starts being frustrating. Men don't want to feel like they're dating a puzzle with missing pieces. They want connection. If every conversation feels vague, every emotion hidden, and every detail of her life off limits, the mystery doesn't build attraction, it drains it. This belief often comes from advice women hear about never being too available, or keeping your cards close. While it's true that oversharing too soon can overwhelm someone, going to the opposite extreme makes a man question whether she's genuinely interested. What women see as mystery, men might see as a lack of effort, and nothing kills attraction faster than the feeling of being shut out. Here's the irony. Men do love mystery, but not the kind built on walls. The most powerful form of mystery comes from depth, not distance. A woman who is playful, spontaneous, and confident keeps a man guessing in the best way. Not because she hides who she is, but because she keeps revealing new sides of herself over time. That's the kind of mystery that draws men closer, because it feels like a journey rather than a dead end. When women lean too heavily on this belief, they forget that attraction thrives on vulnerability. Men don't fall in love with what they don't know. They fall in love with the combination of what they do know and what they continue to discover. A little mystery adds flavor, but too much leaves the dish tasteless. So yes, women believe being mysterious makes men obsessed, and for a moment it might. But obsession fades if mystery becomes emptiness. The truth is, men stay hooked when they see layers. Confidence mixed with vulnerability, strength mixed with softness, playfulness mixed with sincerity. That's the real mystery worth chasing. 7. Belief that over-sexualizing themselves guarantees men's desire. One of the most common beliefs women fall into is that if they present themselves in a highly sexualized way, revealing outfits, seductive poses, constant flirtation, men will not only desire them, but also stay hooked. Society, media, and even social platforms amplify this idea. The more provocative a woman appears, the more attention she'll get. And to be fair, it works, at least at the surface level. Men are visual, and a seductive image or bold flirtation will grab their attention instantly. But here's the flaw in the belief. While over-sexualizing can ignite lust, it rarely builds lasting attraction. In fact, it often creates the opposite effect, where men see her as temporary entertainment rather than someone they want to commit to. This belief stems from the misunderstanding that sexual attraction and emotional attraction are the same. Women think, if I make him want me physically, he'll want me in every way. But the truth is, men can separate the two. A man may pursue a woman for her body, but that doesn't mean he values her mind, her heart, or her presence. When women lean too heavily on sexualization, they risk being seen as an object rather than a person. And the sad part? Many women then feel frustrated when the man doesn't treat them seriously, wondering why he loses interest once the physical curiosity is satisfied. The irony is that men often respect women who set boundaries more than those who try to seduce their way into keeping attention. Confidence and self-respect are far more powerful attractors than any revealing outfit. Men notice when a woman knows her worth, when she doesn't feel the need to constantly flaunt her body for validation. That doesn't mean men dislike sexual energy. Far from it. Men are drawn to it, but they're more captivated when it's paired with mystery, charm, and confidence rather than being the only card she plays. Over-sexualization can also backfire emotionally. Instead of feeling empowered, many women end up feeling used or undervalued. They confuse lust-driven attention with genuine interest, only to realize later that the man was never truly invested. The belief that sex appeal alone keeps him hooked is an illusion. What truly keeps a man obsessed is the combination of chemistry, connection, and character. A woman who can be sexy but also intelligent, playful, supportive, and confident, she holds a kind of magnetic energy that no surface-level sexual display can replace. So yes, women believe showing more skin or acting extra seductive guarantees attraction. And while it guarantees stares, it doesn't guarantee depth. Real desire comes when sexuality is balanced with self-respect and authenticity. Because at the end of the day, men don't just want a body, they want an experience, an energy, and a woman who knows she's more than her looks. That's what makes them stay long after the initial spark of lust fades. The reality behind what women believe attracts men. When you piece all of these beliefs together, a clear pattern emerges. Women often focus on the surface, the strategy, or the illusion, thinking that's what makes men stay. They believe beauty alone is the answer, or that playing hard to get will lock him in. They believe being endlessly agreeable will make them adored, or that showing off material things will elevate their worth. Some lean into games like making men jealous or hiding behind mystery, while others amplify sexuality, thinking it guarantees love. And while each of these beliefs carries a grain of truth, they can spark interest, turn heads, or even stir emotions, they're not enough to create real, lasting attraction. The problem isn't that these beliefs are completely wrong, but that they're incomplete. Here's the reality men rarely say out loud. Attraction may start with the eyes, but it survives with the heart and the mind. Looks will catch attention, but confidence and authenticity make a woman unforgettable. Playing hard to get might get him curious, but showing genuine warmth keeps him invested. Being agreeable might make things smooth at first, but having her own voice creates respect. Luxury items might impress for a moment, but character impresses for a lifetime. Jealousy might trigger him short-term, but loyalty is what wins him long-term. Mystery might spark intrigue, but vulnerability builds intimacy. And sexuality might ignite desire, but balance, depth, and connection turn desire into devotion. Attraction, in its deepest form, isn't built on tricks, games, or exaggerated performances. It's built on energy, the way a woman carries herself, the way she speaks with confidence and presence, the way she makes a man feel, not just desired, but seen, respected, and valued. Men don't stay because she played the perfect role or wore the perfect outfit. They stay because her presence feels magnetic, because being around her makes them feel alive, inspired, and secure. That's something no amount of makeup, mystery, or manipulation can replace. The truth is, the most attractive women are not the ones chasing perfection or running endless strategies. They are the ones who embrace their real selves unapologetically. Women who know their value, who can be sweet but also strong, playful yet serious, confident yet vulnerable. Women who don't need to make men jealous, or hide behind walls, or constantly perform for validation. They understand that attraction is not about controlling how men see them. It's about embodying the kind of energy that naturally draws the right man closer. So, while women may believe all these things attract men, the reality is simpler and far more powerful. Men are drawn to authenticity, confidence, and emotional connection. A woman who owns her worth, without apology or pretense, doesn't need to rely on beliefs or games. She becomes the belief itself. She's not just attractive, she's unforgettable. And that's the kind of attraction that no surface-level tactic can ever replace.